Hi everybody, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
Today we're here to talk to you about my favorite class in any role-playing game, the Monk.
Weirdly enough, I had to convince him that this was a good class.
That's true, he did. Not that it's a good class, he had to convince me that it was an interesting set of changes.
Yes.
And we'll get into why that is.
All right, so let's just go off of the start of it, right?
Yes.
The very beginning. What is the Monk's, stat that is most, oh wait, you can choose. You can choose, we're gonna start off with something exciting. You can actually choose what your main stat is, which is strength or dexterity.
Yeah, it's not just a superficial choice. They're not trying to pigeonhole you into picking dex or strength. It seems like this is actually going to be a meaningful decision for the Monk at the beginning of the character, similarly to the way that, a barbarian would pick a totem.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting. I think it opens up a lot of different options for multi-classing, which is really cool. I think it opens up a lot of different options for feats, and it also affects a variety of DCs for that class moving forward. One of Monk's bread and butter features is that they're kind of a saving throw god. By default, they get expert proficiency in all saving throws, which this is kind of where our point of contention was. Monks, generally as they level, have to worry less and less about any saving throw, because that's what they do. They don't really concern themselves with, for example, being charmed or taking AoE damage or things like that. And with the new critical success and critical failure mechanics, that's gonna be a lot more valuable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And while I think the main contention point that you had is that the fact that one of their bread and butter points is something that they don't get to really make choices on.
An enemy chooses when I make a saving throw. I don't choose when I make a saving throw, for the most part. Whereas things like the Barbarian, you get to choose your totem and choose when to use rage and things like that. It seems a lot more engaging, but again, critical success, critical failure, saving throws might have a lot more engaging mechanics moving forward.
Absolutely. At level 1, you're going to be getting expert proficiency in unarmed defense. Again, kind of goes with the direction that you're saying. I don't get to choose when an enemy hits me.
Yeah.
Unless I put myself into a bad situation, which you can construe
even
it as a
then,
decision.
The DM has to target you. You can put yourself in a position where it makes sense for you to be targeted, but you still have to be targeted. But you do get expert proficiency, which goes up to master and then legendary at levels 13 and 17.
Yep.
You also get unarmed strike at first level, which allows your unarmed strike to do more damage. At level 3, you get magic strike, which allows your unarmed strikes presumably to be considered magical damage, the same way that monks have had that feature for lots of different campaigns, not campaigns.
Iterums of the game.
Yes, thank you. At 5th level, you get Metal Strike, which allows your unarmed strikes to be treated as silver weapons, is that correct?
Metal and silver.
Metal and silver weapons. At level 17, you also get Adamantine Strike, where your fists can be considered the metal adamantine, which makes them harder than normal metal, allowing you to sunder weapons with your fists.
At level 1, guess what? You get Flurry of Blows, because, it's a monk. It's kind of like the staple. Yes, you can hit way more times than anyone else.
Yeah, it's like their rage.
Yeah, the difference with this one, though, is instead of a single attack, or each hit counting as a single attack, if you hit with both, it's considered to be 1 damage.
Yes, which I was a little confused about until Indigo kindly explained to me that helps overcome damage reduction. For example, if I were to do 2 hits that each do 4 damage and the enemy I'm fighting has damage reduction 4, that would negate both of my hits to 0. Whereas if both of those hits were combined to be 8 damage, I'd still be able to do 4 damage.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
It makes it so the monks, less damage but more often is more viable in those situations.
Exactly.
At 9th level, you're going to be gaining the Furious Flurry, where when you do in fact hit with both hits, not only do they combine into 1, but each of them go up a damage dice.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's beneficial for a character to, hit. That's a dumb. And then kind of the bread and butter at the end, what is it,
the keystone ability or capstone?
At level 19, all of your attacks are considered to be 10.
If you roll below a 10.
Yeah, so if you roll 1 through 9, it's just a 10. It's great. So it's you're literally, if you're out in the middle of an army, you can just take everyone out, because you're always going to hit. You're like, DM, do I need to roll? Or can I just hit 5 different people?
If I want to just skip rolling, I don't even need the crits. I'm gonna just kill them all. Is that okay? At 3rd level, monks get a 10-foot movement speed increase if they aren't wearing any armor. That is slower than, for example, what we'd find in D&D, which that kind of increments as the monk levels up.
Yeah, and they didn't say that it does, and they also didn't say that it doesn't increase. They just mentioned that at 3rd level, you're going to get a 10-foot movement bonus.
The pattern so far has been them explaining to us how things scale over time. So I think this is going to be a one-time thing, which might be reasonable because the class in D&D gets fast, car fast.
Like you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I want to dash, or I want to use my move action and my attack action to move. You're moving, 120 feet in 6 seconds. It's insane. And then at 7th level, we're kind of going back to the saving throws. You're going to be able to choose one of your 3 saving throws to be moved into the mastery saving throw.
Right, which you just get to choose one.
Yeah, you're just choosing.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, it's a one-time decision. It's not dynamic.
You've had 7 levels to decide what saving throw is going to be the most valuable in the campaign that you're currently in, and now you just pick that one, and now you're a master at it. At 11th level, and I think this is where the saving throws just become very, very powerful in the monk. At 11th level, you get to treat any success for any saving throw as a critical success. So you've basically removed the rolling 10 over the DC requirement for a critical success for any saving throw, assuming that you have mastery in that saving throw.
Correct.
Which is very strong.
Yeah, especially since you can choose which one you want to do mastery in. And as far as I'm aware, there are going to be feats that are going to increase your saving throws for different groups.
Yeah, and maybe there'll be items that do it too. Who knows?
So, literally with a monk, you can have mastery saving throws in all 3 of your stats. At 15th level, you can either choose a 2nd saving throw to become a master in, or one of the abilities that you have mastered turned into a legendary. That's pretty freaking cool. And we don't know what, again, we know that it's a flat increase, but we don't know what that legendary is going to be for
the saving throws. I don't think we've seen any sort of legendary saving throw detailed yet.
No, but our minds could go wild with it.
If someone tries to charm you and you succeed your will saving throw, and you're legendary, you get to charm them instead.
That'd be cool. Just I
don't know.
Mind reflective mirror. Yeah. You've become they automatically fail.
You get to cast the spell back on them with double the DC.
That'd be pretty cool.
Monks are also going to have a big old list of feats to pick from, and this is where you're going to be able to get things like your key points, where you're going to be able to get things like your stances. What are those 2 things? Well, key points work similarly to the way that they did previously. It's just a pool of resources that you have at your disposal, and you can spend those resources to do spell-like effects. They're actually considered powers similarly to the way that sorcerers and wizards have them now, which is very interesting.
Now, some of the key abilities that you can use, we should also mention that you gain your key via your wisdom stat.
That's true.
So that's kind of where the wisdom stat comes into play versus, previously. Yeah. One of the really cool key abilities that I like is Abundant Step, the ability to basically teleport. Definitely makes me think of, anime monk characters just running and then just teleporting all over.
Yep.
Now, the thing that I think that got Krug over a little bit is the stances.
Yep.
And the fact is that stances are going to be a choosable kind of system that you're going to be able to do. I get where you're complaining about is the only one that they really went into was 1.
Yeah.
Versus the totems. They gave a list of the different totems.
Not all the totems necessarily.
Well,
a bunch of totems.
Yeah, and this it was just here's one stance and here's a hint at a 2nd stance.
Yeah,
and you're just but how
they gave
many?
us how attacks work for a 2nd stance, right? But they didn't give us a list of available stances, not even something to speculate off of, which I was really disappointed in, because that's my favorite part of this whole video series, is speculating on what all the different things are going to be. But the stances are interesting. You can enter one for an action, and then you can, it basically modifies the way that your character works.
Well, and it basically sets up a unique set of rules.
Yeah.
So it's yes, you have an additional attack type, but it's also putting it it's giving you in crane stance, if an enemy comes towards you, you can attack them with this, or you have a jump attack.
You have to use a specific kind of melee attack when you're in this stance. There are conditions to maintaining the stance's active state.
And those stances give you benefits associated with them. It goes along with the totems, where it's here's a hook of why you're the way you are and why you rage.
Yep.
And here are the benefits to,
using that hook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where stances hook into it. I just wish they would have just gone a little bit more into stances and less
Yep.
about saving throws.
Yep.
Like,
And saving throws are strong, but they're just not the engaging part of this character, I don't think. I wanted them to go a lot more into the things I'm going to be able to pick.
yeah. And the problem is that Monk always kind of gets like pushed to the back anyways.
It does.
And so it's like, it could have some really potential interesting
Yeah.
abilities and things like that.
Absolutely.
But they just were like, all right, we're going to talk about saving throws, something that, you're not going to have to think about 90% of the time you're playing your character.
Yeah, I'm definitely still excited to see what's coming for this.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I would have liked more, please.
I mean, isn't that their job with these blog posts?
Yeah.
To get you to
That's
want a
true.
little bit more. All right, guys, head down to the comments section and let us know, what do you want to see more of? Do you want a little bit more detail on, maybe the rogue? Come on, guys, where's the rogue information? That's what I want. While you guys are down there, make sure to hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the dislike button if you didn't like the button.
If you didn't like the button.
If you didn't like the button, hit it. Just that's not right. Also, while you are down there, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you can get notifications for all of our future content. My name is Indigo, and you can get me on Twitter at IndigoQT.
And I'm Krug. You can get me at KrugQT on Twitter. You can also reach both of us at _QueueTimes on Twitter or at QueueTimes on Instagram. We've been GameGorgon. We'll see you guys next time.